Last night we had the big DC and Warner Brothers panel at CinemaCon, which is one of the biggest movie conferences of the entire year. It's for the studios to go and present to movie theaters pretty much all the films they have coming up, build up hype for it. And to say DC's panel was a little disappointing would honestly be understating it. There was some cool information about Superman and a few other DC movies. Let's just get into all the highlights and lowlights of this event. Now listen, CinemaCon is more for the executives than it is for the fans. It's not like Comic-Con, but I feel like it's fair to be slightly disappointed after we just had the huge reveal of Spider-Man Brand New Day and Beyond the Spider-Verse last night from Sony. And then James Gunn comes out and says we're going to have some fun surprises during today's DC Studios panel, only to really have almost no surprises and only focusing on Superman and one other film was highlighted. One of the highlights for sure was they did show a new clip of Superman the movie. It's an extended portion of what we see in the trailer of Krypto kind of dragging Superman after Superman says take me home. Now this has not been released online yet, but it will be shown in front of the Minecraft movie showings this weekend. So if you want to see it there without spoilers, skip ahead like 30 seconds. So the description of the scene, it was about 4 minutes long and it opens up on a snowy planet where we see Superman crashing into the ground. Again, this is what we saw at the very beginning of the original teaser trailer. He wheezes and bleeds, he whistles for Krypto. Krypto gleefully jumps all over him, causing more pain. Krypto is wanting to just play with Superman, but then he responds saying, "Krypto, take me home." Krypto continues to lick his face, then run circles around him before finally grabbing his cape with his mouth and dragging him across the snow. A palace rises from the ground in an icy formation and the pair go inside. Obviously, this is the Fortress of Solitude, and we also have some descriptions. Apparently, there's a giant S-shaped door on the fortress itself. Then once he's inside there, robots lift Superman and carry him. Superman thanks them. The robot states, "There's no need to thank us. We will not understand." They examine him in a medical office, and then they blast him with sunlight, and Superman screams. That's how they're healing him. People that actually got to see this with their own two eyes said that this scene looks absolutely incredible. They say it's really funny, but not in a way that's like cheap humor, just like it's so full of heart seeing Krypto just trying to play with Superman and stuff that it was making people smile in the theaters watching it. I gotta admit, I love the sound of this. It just sounds so comic booky. Everything with him being healed by sunlight by these robots in the Fortress of Solitude. It seems like we're leaning fully into the fantasy elements in the Superman world, which we did know, but it's nice to hear that, yeah, they're actually doing it and executing it in a great way. Before I continue, hit that like and sub button if you haven't already. But the next thing that we saw is that apparently a new teaser trailer was shown, or maybe it's the official trailer, that's basically the same thing as the first teaser we saw, except all the scenes in the teaser were extended a little bit more. So like the shot of Lex Luthor, that was extended and you actually hear Lex talking for like a sentence or two, and every other scene had a couple extra seconds added onto it. So it's fair to assume that we'll probably be releasing in the next couple weeks here to get people hyped for Superman, because yeah, this thing's coming out in July. What's kind of disappointing about this panel that DC had is that pretty much Warner Brothers sped through a lot of their other stuff to give DC like almost half of their allotted time. Like they almost had a full hour to focus on DC Studios. And most of that time was really spent on just doing like a random Q&A. You had the actors praising the Superman that came before them, which is obviously nice to hear. Nicholas Hoult, who plays Lex Luthor, was joking around saying that he auditioned for Batman and Superman and he didn't get either of them, so he feels like he's perfect to be Lex, their biggest hater. James Gunn was talking about how he was actually offered this movie back in 2018, but he decided to do the Suicide Squad instead because he felt like that's what he knew better at the time, and the story for Superman hadn't stricken him yet. And a bunch of this other just behind the scenes stuff, but I just feel like this was not the time to do this. Like you could have hosted this as like a live stream or something in addition. This is like your big event for studio execs. I feel like you need a little bit more, maybe a new poster, a new thing to release online to generate a bit more hype for your big movie that's pretty much make or break for your entire studio at this point. We did get an update on one other DC movie, but no, it was not the Batman Part 2. I was kind of disappointed. I thought we were at least going to get like a new title announced for this and maybe nothing else, because obviously we know that they haven't even started filming this movie yet. Last week, the Warner Brothers Spain website changed the official title from the Batman Part 2 to Untitled Batman Film. Very similar to the website update we saw for Beyond the Spider-Verse a week before they announced that officially. So I thought, oh my god, maybe we'll get the Batman Part 2 news too, but no, nothing on this. Nothing on Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow either. They're really just focusing in on Superman, but like I said, I feel like they kind of underplayed their hand a little bit since Superman was like 99% of their focus. The honest thing is, the one movie that we did learn about wasn't even a part of DC's actual panel. It was a part of the Warner Brothers animation that presented a little bit earlier than them, and it was about the dynamic duo movie starring Robin that is not releasing until 2028, but we got footage shown from this somehow. It showed that it uses puppetry animation, and everybody described this thing as absolutely gorgeous and incredible animation, and clearly it's gonna take a long time since this thing is not releasing for another like 4 years. I know my math's bad, it's actually 3 years, but still, you get the point. Let me know your thoughts on all all of this? Is it underwhelming for you, or are you happy with a little bit of new information we got? I'm personally really excited to see the new Superman scene before the Minecraft movie. At least we got that. If you want to hear the other latest news about Beyond the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man 4, click the videos on screen right now.